Daphne M of Collage Dance Collective, and we're at the City Center Dance Studio in New York City, and they just got done completing the most beautiful performance ever. This is the Artist Performing Arts Presenters Association, and they had a showcase this entire weekend, and the Collage Dance Collective was here performing.
Yes, we were.
How do you feel after tonight?
Ooh, it's a tough show to be doing here. It's exciting to be back in New York City. So many people have heard of Collage Dance Collective, but haven't been able to actually see and experience collage. So now that we're here, people are excited. They want to see more of us. They want us to go on tour. So APAP is a huge thing for dancers, and we're just happy to be here, and today was our last day. So this is it, and we're going to be touring next to Washington, D.C., and then back to Memphis.
They had a lot of great feedback. The crowds were amazing. They had a standing ovation twice. Once in the middle of the performance, and it was not even done yet, but it was like an amazing show you guys put on. You did a great job.
Thank you.
So with performing arts, specifically dance, it's all about telling a story through music, with music, using movements. What stories were you guys telling tonight with your performance?
So that's actually, there's two ways to answer that question, because not all the time the movement is a story. So sometimes it's abstract. So the first piece we did was called Lineage. It was choreographed by Darrell Grand-Moultrie. And the name Lineage is, your line, your heritage. So it was actually introducing each of the dancers one by one and having us be a collective, having us come out in our own world. So that's kind of our story. It wasn't like a full-blown, beginning, middle, and end type of thing, but it was just presenting ourselves in a new light and creating our own lineage through dance. The second piece was called Amazing Grace, choreographed by Dwight Roden, and that's actually, about abandonment, about losing faith, and how the female is trying to escape from her world, but there's an angel that's constantly keeping her grounded. So that's called Testament, Amazing Grace. And the last piece we did was called Sweet, choreographed by Sean Halsell, and that actually didn't have any story at all. So the cool thing is when dancers don't have a story to tell, we're using our relationships with the other dancers, we're creating our own stories through our experiences, and that's what brings the artistry into the movement.
Can I just say, outside looking in, that last piece, I thought when I was thinking of the story for it, I thought, okay, so it's like a love square going on here. So these two guys really like this one girl, and the other girl is together with one of the guys. It was just like, this is like love, romance. I feel it. I was so engrossed in the whole performance.
But you see how her reaction is like, that's how she interpreted it. Somebody else could have thought something else. So that's what makes the dance so unique, because there's no story, but based on how we're seeing it, or I could perform it like that, but then the next show I could portray it completely opposite. So I think that's the beauty about seeing dance live hand.
And I think that's why I enjoy performing arts in general, because no matter what, the artist can make whatever story he wants, but the audience can completely take away something different. And that's really cool. So we met at the Destination Beautiful Ready Set Glow brunch, and I want to know, how do you try and connect your passion for dance with giving back to the community? She was actually one of the panelists.
Yes, I was one of the panelists for the Ready Set Glow brunch. Thank you, Nicole Stanley. And the way we do that is we know that dance is for the people and should be given back to the people, and that's quoted by Alvin Ailey. So dancers always give back. We always go into schools. We go into high schools, middle schools, charter schools. We do lecture demonstrations, because there's so many young kids that don't always get to go to a theater like City Center, or don't always get to see dancers of color specifically. So it's very important to go into the schools. We do demonstrations, we do mini performances, and we also do Q&As where the students get to ask us questions and even participate on stage with us. So that's necessary for dancers, because it's connecting us back with our audience. It's not always about a show. It's not always about people paying thousands of dollars for tickets to see us. It's actually about sharing dance, which we all have as humans. So giving back is essential, and it's necessary for every artist.
So how do you feel about the rise and kind of like the virality of Black performers, especially in ballet?
In ballet, so the diversity in the ballet world is increasing. It's getting much stronger. You know, we have veterans like Misty Copeland, who made a huge name in the dance world, but there's also dancers that came before her, such as Raven Wilkinson and Lauren Anderson. We have Michaela DePrince and Precious Adams. So there's a lot of Black women who are in the performing arts, specifically ballet, that are changing the game and making it so the average non-dancer gets to know that this is, you know, possible. Also, we're still underrepresented in many of the ballet companies that are across the United States. So little by little, we are making our way. It's not completely set yet, but we are showing that we are here, that we deserve an opportunity to perform with any company that we so desire, and that there should be more of us so that way we can represent the United States.
And as your mom said at the brunch, we're setting our own standards.
We are setting our own standards. We don't always have to fit into their molds of what they feel dance should look like. We're creating our own, and we're doing it just as wonderfully. So we're excited to do our own thing and be inclusive to everyone.
At the brunch, I personally was moved by your eloquence and your demeanor.
Thank you.
How important is women's empowerment to you?
How important is women empowerment to me? It's something that resonates with me because I was surrounded by empowered women who were focused, who had a goal in mind, but I wasn't always there in that mentality. I wasn't always ready to seek out and give back to women and talk about what it's like to be a woman of color in the ballet world. It took me a minute. So the fact that I had mentors and I spoke out to women and said, hey, you know, I want to do this, I'm interested in this field, can you help me? I'm now realizing, wait, I'm actually influencing another group of women and young girls. So it's very important because it's going to affect the next generation. Everything is done through media now. So it's important to talk and to speak about our experiences and speak about how we're going to get better and how we can stay connected.
Yeah, definitely. And be seen, because young girls need to see people of color, people like them, people who look like them doing things that they want to do.
Right, so many young
powerful
people.
Positions.
Yes. So many people came up and said, oh, we wish we had more dance companies of color, especially in the ballet world, to see. So now, you know, that's not going to be a problem for some little girl out there. She's going to say, oh yeah, I grew up seeing Black ballerinas. Not a big deal. You know, where for me, I had my mother, yes, but there's so many other dancers that said, no, they had to look in books. You know, not everyone can touch and feel a dancer of color. So I think it's essential, and being a woman, it's even more vital.
So at the brunch, someone did shout out that you performed with Beyoncé.
Yes, I did.
And I did my own research because I had to know, but you did perform at the Mrs. Carter tour, and video under Frank Jackson's direction.
Yes, so it was actually during my day off. I got a call from one of my coworkers that said, hey, they're looking for dancers really quick. And I said, it's my day off, I don't want to go. So I went to this.
Wait, hold on. Did they say they or did they say Beyonce? Because both words would have gotten a different reaction.
Right. So whenever you work for Beyonce, no one tells you. So this is the thing. So they called me and they said, someone needs some dancers. They're looking for dancers. You got to meet me at this address. Da, 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 da. So I said, okay. They said, bring point shoes. I packed my little dance bag. I'm in New York City. I go to this warehouse, and I still don't know what the heck is going on. Little do I know, I see Tina Knowles, Beyonce's mother, comes out, and she starts.
Miss Knowles in the building. Okay.
She was there, and then she starts giving us clothing to wear, doing our sizes, and then they say, go into makeup and hair, you know, put on your shoes, and I'm still not believing what I'm seeing right now. Next thing I know, I'm all dolled up, you know, we're on set, and I see this crown, and I see all of her dancers. Now, Beyonce's dancers, we know, the dance community is very small. So I recognize the dancers. Lo and behold, Beyonce walks out. And then I said, oh, okay, yep, I'm dancing for Beyonce. And I told myself that year that I was gonna work with her. I didn't know how. But lo and behold, I did a little dance thing with her, and we were featured on her tour video. So that was the first video that popped up before she actually came on stage. Wow. And it was like, oh my God!
That is amazing.
It's incredible. So all you see is my head going like this. But hey, it's on my resume.
It's still Beyonce.
It's still Beyonce, right?
That's amazing. Was that a pivotal moment in your career? What effect did it have on your career?
It was a fun effect because I wanted dancers and non-dancers to know that I can do everything. That, you know, just being a ballerina, you can't just be a ballerina anymore. You got to be able to do your hip hop. You got to be able to go back to your roots and do tap. You have to be able to act. You have to be able to do jazz. So I want to get a well-rounded resume because I don't want to just stay stuck in one field. So it's a great little thing to tell people, like, yeah, you know, I worked for Beyonce, no big deal. But
I mean, if you told me you were in a room with Beyonce, I would be like, you know, collapsing on the floor, like, oh my gosh, how was that? Did she breathe? Infinity?
But people forget that Beyonce is a performing artist.
Yeah.
So she's just like the rest of us. You know, as soon as lights, camera, action, she was, you know, she was giving face. I mean, she was doing her thing. But as soon as the camera was off, she was playing with Blue Ivy and talking to us and saying, hey, what's going on? It's a job, you know? So that's how we are, and that's our image. But then we're regular people, you know? This is our regular 9 to 5. So for me, it was more like, okay, this is a great opportunity to see what she's like in her element, but she's doing what the rest of us were doing, you know? And Fred Gatson was just giving us direction. So I had a great experience with Beyonce, and I hope to do it again.
Yeah, you guys don't know, Daphne is also the Miss Black New Jersey reigning queen right now, correct?
I am, yeah.
So what is your journey like for this year? What are you putting out and what are you planning for this year?
So as Miss Black New Jersey USA 2017, I'm looking forward to taking the title of Miss Black USA in Washington, D.C. in August. And during my reign, I am doing everything. I am trying to raise money with my GoFundMe so I can focus more on my platform. My platform is multiple myeloma cancer after my mother, but I'm also giving back. I'm using my crown and sash literally to go into hospitals, to go into schools. I'm very close and connected with my high school, so I've been going there and educating the students about multiple myeloma, career readiness, and also self-esteem with women. So I'm using this title to do as much as I can giving back, and then there's going to be a point where I'm going to step back a little bit so I can focus more on the pageant in August.
Okay. And just briefly explain what multiple myeloma is.
Yes. So multiple myeloma is a cancer, and it's a bone marrow cancer. So it's not something like the breast or the prostate that you can kind of take the tumor and take out. It happens within the bone. So my mother recently got diagnosed in January 2016, and it's very painful. So what she has to go through is, you know, not in addition to chemo, she also has to do a stem cell transplant. So she's been going to the hospital, she's been getting her treatment. And the thing about cancer is that it drains you, it completely makes you tired. So she's going into her second treatment, and this is something that hit me hard because it's my mom. And I decided to focus on the Multiple Myeloma Foundation, and I want to be able to support other women of color who have it. Apparently it affects a lot of women of color. And this is something that didn't run in my family. I didn't know anything about it. It just came out of nowhere. You know, our environment, our foods, we don't know what gives us cancer. But that's something that I wanted to focus on, and it actually encourages me to work even harder, not only for the pageant, but in my career, in my education, and in my other relationships. So this is something I know she'll beat, she'll get over it, and then I'll be able to still push and propel my energy into the pageant.
That is truly amazing.
You have to, yeah. It's a crazy story. You know, life happens, but it's about how can you handle it, you know? So I try not to let things set me back, otherwise it takes me 2 steps back. I just say, okay, embrace that feeling, and how do we get from it? So that's my plan.
Definitely. As you were saying, the Collage Dance Collective is going to be in Washington, D.C. for your next showcase.
Yes.
What's coming up this year for the company?
End of April, we have our spring showcase where we do our last performance. And then in the summer, I'm doing a whole bunch of gigs. But that's what we're doing. We're getting ready to go to D.C. I've invited Miss Black Missouri and Miss Black Virginia to come to the show as well and to support. So we're excited. All the tickets are sold out for D.C., so sorry if you're trying to come. There's no more seats, but yeah, it's great. We always get a great crowd, and we're working with the Jones Haven School of Dance there, which is a historic Black ballet school there. So it's exciting to be putting these 2 companies together and showcasing dance.
Well, I truly thank you, and I'm honored to actually be invited to this. I'm really happy to be here throughout all the snow and the journey to get here. It was an amazing show, and it's actually like my first dance show. And stuff.
There'll be plenty more. You see the lights and the costumes and the real lashes.
You have to let me know the next time you're doing this show.
Yes.
But thank you for being on Chai TV. I'm sure everyone's gonna love you. And thank you guys for tuning in, and stay tuned for more on Chai TV. Bye.